ladies and gentlemen, to Fan Appreciation Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm not only taking a movie off the Amazon wish list, but this is one I have wanted to see for a long time, and you guys have been asking me to cover it for quite a while now. Now, this film has a rather interesting lineage. I should mention that, to me, probably one of the best films to come out in the last few years was a little flick called Grindhouse, which was a love letter to old 70s Grindhouse theaters, including being a double feature featuring two separate films from two totally different directors, but it also had a bunch of fake trailers for things such as Werewolf Women of, The SS, Don't, Thanksgiving, and the other one that aired around the world was Machete. Now, one other trailer was made, and it was made as like part of a contest. That trailer was only shown in Canada, but it apparently became so popular around the world that they decided to make a film based on that fake trailer. Tonight's movie came out in 2011. The title, I love this title, Hobo with a Shotgun. See, guys, I love it when a title gives you absolutely everything you need to know about a goddamn movie. Because just looking at that title, I'm going to assume it's a film about a hobo with a shotgun. You don't really have to put a whole lot of thought into it. This is going to be a nice, fun, mindless popcorn flick. I can just feel it. And you know what? I'm really in the mood for some good old mindless fun. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Hobo with a Shotgun. Wow, guys, the movie just started. We've already had one of the coolest deaths I've ever seen in any movie. And now we have a sexy chick, like, kind of showering in blood. That's kind of fucked up. But guess what? It's still fucking awesome. Okay, guys. This movie's taught me a very valuable lesson. Don't ever trash talk Mother Teresa in front of a hobo. They will whoop the ever-loving shit out of you. Wow, I didn't know that pawn shops made it a habit of keeping their fucking weapons fully armed when they are in the shop. But still, that's really fucking awesome, though. Okay. Yes! I'm loving every death in this film. I was just about to say, though, I've never heard of a prostitute referred to as a fucktube before. That one is definitely new. And then you follow it up with this fucking amazing death. I'm loving every minute of this goddamn movie, guys. I really, really am. Wow. Guys, I never thought I'd say this. I'm actually happy to see somebody's junk get completely mutilated in a fucking movie. That's partially because the character had it fucking coming, and the scene was spectacular. Alright, folks, I really have to share this with you. Not since Dead Alive have I seen a lawnmower weaponized in such a fucking badass way. I just wanted to share that. That was absolutely awesome. Alright, guys, here we go. This is my 9th attempt trying to review Hobo with a Shotgun. The other 8 attempts were all interrupted by something. Doesn't matter if it was somebody knocking on my door, doesn't matter if it was my phone ringing, doesn't matter if it was the siren outside going off because it's fucking noon. I've been interrupted that many times. It's been at least 45 minutes since I finished watching the goddamned movie. But I owe you guys a review. That's right there in the title. This is reaction and review. I cannot just give you all of my fucking reaction shit and not give the film a proper review. So, it's time for me now to soldier forth and finally get to review this awesome movie. You guys happen to remember a while back I covered a pair of Japanese films called Tokyo Gore Police and Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl? You guys know how I, absolutely adored those films because the story, the writing, the characters, the gore were all so over the top and goofy that I fucking adored them. Say hello to the Canadian cousin of those two films. Yes, guys, Hobo with His Shotgun is just as over the top and goofy as shit as those two films were. The only real difference is that, well, Hobo with a Shotgun was filmed in English. That really is the only difference. Anyway, so I'm going to start with the gore effects. I'm going to sort of work my way from there, because the gore effects are sort of where this film shines. Because not only do we have really awesome looking gore in terms of just blood splashing everywhere, we have fucking blood like fountains, because apparently we all have gallons and gallons of high pressure blood in our fucking bodies. But we also have some really creative deaths going on in this film. Because you would think that with a title like Hobo with a Shotgun, you would have just nothing but just some fucking dude walking around blasting away people with a fucking shotgun. But even he's able to make it kind of sort of creative. It really doesn't matter if he's shooting them from a distance. Doesn't matter if he's shooting them from 2 feet away. Doesn't matter if he's duct taping his gun to a man's crotch and blowing his dick off. It gets really creative. And it's more than just shotguns. You will see a lawnmower weaponized into basically a killing shield. You will see a different shotgun with a fucking axe mounted onto it. You will see a grappling hook that can hang people. You will see a noose made out of barbed wire. You will see probably the greatest use of a flamethrower in the history of film. It's like this movie, it just keeps on like topping itself with how awesome these deaths are. And just when you think that you've seen the best, then all of a sudden the next death comes fucking rolling in. And you are going to find yourself laughing at every single one, because everything about this film is just so hysterically funny. Now, the writing. The writing is where this movie shines, because you see, guys, we have villains in this film who are just so over the top and just so cartoonish that they become almost lovable. We have a hero who will sit there and will just drone on with these really corny-ass monologues, and they all work. There is a scene where he is talking to a fucking nursery full of like newborn babies, and his speech is just so brimming with fucking awesome that you are going to fall in love with the character if you hadn't already by that point. It's like we have not a single character in here is bad. There is not a single shit character in this entire film, including our villains, who should in the hands of almost any other writer be probably the three most unlikable sacks of pig shit in the world. They are all instantly lovable. Why? Because all of them are just so campy and so over the top and so goofy, and the actors play it to the best of their abilities. Yeah, I'm going to cover acting now. I have talked about hammy acting in the past, and I have talked about how it is possible to be way too hammy and thus sort of destroy your film. And oftentimes when you have a cast who is trying to ham it up, there's usually one or two who either are going too far or are not going far enough, and their scenes are going to kind of take you out of the film. Here, everybody is playing it perfectly. It is that perfect level of ham and cheese. I mean, because we have a real cheesy script, and we have perfect hammy acting to go with it. It is just the absolute definition of hammy nirvana, and I loved it. Okay, every single actor went in and they put in a fantastic showing, while still hamming it up a little bit to kind of sort of work with the script given. Now, I can honestly say that there isn't a single bad actor in here, which is saying a lot, because I usually have at least one fucking actor I can point out and go, he fucking sucked. No one here. Not a single bad actor in the bunch. Every single person is giving a fantastic showing, and it makes the film all the more memorable. So, I've covered gore, I've covered writing a little bit, I've covered acting. Let's talk about the lighting, because the lighting is something that I do have to touch on, because the film is, in essence, a love letter to 70s exploitation, like grindhouse gore films, and because of that, they have lighting which is very reminiscent of that fucking era. So we have some scenes which are bathed in so much red fucking light that it almost runs the risk of washing out the picture. And it still works though. You sit there and you watch it and you still enjoy it even though it has such shitty lighting. However, though, I'm saying that because I'm a fan of 1970s exploitation films and I'm used to that kind of god-awful lighting. However, if you are not used to that kind of lighting, or if you're one of those people who really thinks lighting has to be absolutely perfect, those scenes are going to drive you absolutely insane. I do have to warn you. So, beyond that, though, lighting is for the most part really good. I mean, a lot of this film is shot outdoors. At least it looks like it's shot outdoors. And oftentimes those are the hardest scenes to light because it's really difficult to keep every single angle like perfectly balanced. They pulled off that. And this film, I believe, is a bit of a low-budget flick, and for them to have perfectly balanced lighting in a low-budget film is nothing short of a miracle. In fact, I believe I said a very similar thing when I was talking about My Bloody Wedding, which only had like a $1,200 budget. So yeah, the fact that this thing was able to also do that is absolutely amazing. So, covered lighting. Camera work is really solid. There really is nothing negative I can say about the camera work. I would like to talk about the picture quality though, because well, once more, this thing started off as a fake trailer for Grindhouse, and in fucking effect, it is a love letter to 1970s like 1970s and early 80s like exploitation grindhouse gore films, and because of this. First of all, we have a fucking opening which literally looks like it was lifted from a movie in the 1970s. In fact, the opening to this movie looks more... It literally looks more like an actual opening to a Grindhouse film than the two films that were in Grindhouse had. And that's saying a fucking lot because frankly, Tarantino and Rodriguez went to great lengths to make their films look as authentic as possible. This thing is able to outdo them in terms of just looking authentic. Speaking of looking authentic, this entire film, and this could just be the copy used when making the DVD, but it has a slight bit of film like grain on it, and I mean it looks like authentic grain, unlike in Grindhouse where it all looked really fake and really forced. Here it looks like genuine grain, and it really sort of helps the whole fucking illusion of the like film along. So yeah, we do have that going for it. Trying to think about what else I can really cover. I don't think I can really cover anything else. This movie is fantastic from top to bottom as long as you know what you're getting yourself into. Because again, I kind of have to warn, this film is in essence a love letter to 1970s cheesy B films. So it is going out of its way to attempt to emulate that style as much as possible while still leaving enough charm to be its own powerful film. So if you weren't a fan of like B films from the 70s and from the like early to mid 80s, you are not going to like this because it is identical to a lot of those in terms of style and in terms of tone, in terms of look. However, if you love those sorts of films, or if you love just good old-fashioned mindless popcorn films which are just heavy on violence, you are gonna absolutely adore this film. Me, frankly, because of my love of cheesy films, this thing here is almost worthy of a fucking shrine. That is how awesome it is in that goddamn respect. Frankly, guys, this movie is on Netflix, and I don't care if you fall into the category of, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this because of what I'm saying. go watch it. You guys are going to absolutely love it. And if you love it after watching it on Netflix, buy it. In fact, I have right here a DVD copy, a physical copy which I own, sent in by one of you guys, and I will get to the shout out in just a sec. But I'm almost tempted to buy this fucker on Blu-ray just because I want a copy that can probably take a little bit more damage. And possibly have a slightly crisper picture, but then again, I don't much care. I just kind of feel the need to want to own this thing on Blu-ray, and I don't know why. Now, Hobo with a Shotgun came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in is a YouTube user by the name of, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right, Arche2. And I want you guys to go and check out that. YouTube channel. And Che, I'm just gonna call you Che. I really hope it's cool. Thank you. Not only have I been curious about this thing because of all of the requests from you guys, I have been genuinely curious about this film ever since I first saw trailers for it. And god damn it, this thing shocked the shit out of me because I really thought it was just going to be a I thought it was just going to be like a substandard film. I really didn't think it was going to live up to its, lineage, because this is technically part of, Grindhouse. But god damn it, it fucking lives up to it in spades, and I'm very happy to own a copy. This here is something I'm probably going to have to watch every fucking year, and I'm going to adore it every single time. So yeah, guys, watch this movie, all right? Because I know for a fact you can find it on Netflix. You can probably download it off of Amazon if you absolutely wish. You can probably download it off of fucking fucking like iTunes. Mind you, those options are only if you don't have a Netflix account. And if none of those options work, you can probably find a copy of this thing on DVD real cheap if you know where to look. And frankly, every last one of those options are great. So yeah, get out there and watch Hobo with a Shotgun. You will not be disappointed. And with that, folks, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.